Hi, we're going to start by going over a few things in the app that you're going to want to get set up as soon as you get your package in. You are only going to be able to access your account information screen when you log into your shopper app. You're going to see Add PEX Card. You're going to click that. You're going to fill in your PEX Card information. You can see there it's asking for the last 4 digits of the card number. Put in the last 4 digits of the card, and the PEX Card name is going to be underneath the 16-digit number on the card. It's going to say Shipt, and I think there's a set of 5 or 6 numbers that follow Shipt. So enter Shipt space, and then enter the digits that follow that, and that's going to be your Shipt card name. Once you get that finished up, you're going to save the information on there, and you're going to enter your bank account information, the bank name, your routing number, and your account number. Get that set up so that you can get paid. We get paid every Friday. You'll see typically a couple different deposits on Friday. You're going to see your shopper pay, which is the 7.5% plus the $5. That's the 7.5% of the order total, the Meijer receipt order total, plus $5 is your shopper pay. And then any tips, because the tips are a separate transaction on the member's card, are going to be a separate deposit in your account. And then typically any bonus or promo pay or referral pay is also going to be a separate deposit. So on Fridays you might see several different deposits hitting your account. Just make sure they all match up and you're good to go. Take a picture. Most people wait till they get their green Shipt shirt. Obviously take a better looking picture than the one I've got there. Cameras hate me, so shouldn't be too difficult to do that. But that's the picture that the member's going to get when you claim their order. They're going to see the picture and your name. So underneath that, make sure your name is spelled correctly. Your shopper ID number, only thing you need that for is to write on your tax exempt form. And I'll go over the tax exempt forms a little bit later when we get through the checkout process. Email address, make sure that is correct. Every week you're going to get a weekly shopper update through email. They're going to give you updates on HQ, what's going on, what's new at HQ, anything that's new and current in our metro. They're going to give you updates on that. And then once a month they also send out a shopper rating breakdown. It'll have your percentages that the members rate you on. They can choose things like excellent communicator, damaged products, missing items, went above and beyond, things like that. So you'll see a percentage of the members that rated you on those criteria. So you want to make sure that that is correct. Your phone number, obviously make sure that it is accurate and correct. You can update that at any time if you change your number. You will get text alerts if there's anything going on in your area. A lot of times they do bonus pay for zones that they're running short on shoppers in, or if there's a lot of members trying to place orders in certain areas, they're going to put bonus pay in for certain zones. So make sure that's correct so you get those emails. Your metro should select Detroit unless you're planning on moving somewhere. You can change that at any time. So let's say you're going to be traveling to Atlanta and you want to get out of the house and get away from the mother and father-in-law for a little bit. Feel free to pick up an order in Atlanta. You can shop there, just change your metro to Atlanta. Probably a good idea if you're going to do that to reach out to the Atlanta local Facebook group as well, and let them know, hey, I'm going to be traveling to Atlanta. What are some good tips and tricks to get me going in your area? And they'll be able to help you out. Preferences, I'm going to click that, and push notifications. This is an important one. Make sure it is toggled to on. Should be lit up green like that. That is how you are going to get the alerts when orders get offered to you. So you want to make sure that is on, or else you're not going to be alerted when you get work offered to you. You can test the notification system and it'll make sure that's working for you. If you've got Android, you'll see the maps to use options are going to be Google Maps or Waze. If you've got Waze installed, those are going to be your two options. If you've got Apple, you're going to have those two options, plus you're also going to have Apple Maps as an option. So whichever one you prefer, feel free to use it. I know a lot of people prefer Google Maps because it does have the street view, which is nice to have in the dark, so you can see exactly the house that you're looking for, and I'll show you that a little bit later. So once you get all of that set up, you should be good to go in your app, and you should be able to see the full menu here. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to click on Schedule, and down on the bottom you see Default Zones. The good thing about how Meijer works is that each Meijer location is its own zone. So if I click on Default Zones on the bottom there, all of the zones are going to show up. And like I said, these are all the Meijer locations. If you want to look at the address, for example, if you want to know where the Meijer on Little Mac is, click the little I button over on the far right, and it's going to show you that the stores in this zone are the Meijer on Little Mac, 30800 Little Mac Avenue, Roseville, Michigan. Each zone in Michigan and the Detroit Metro has just got one Meijer in it. So keep that in mind. We are so spread out here. We don't have a Meijer on every corner like they do down in like Florida with their Publix markets. Zones contain several different stores when you go to most other places. So that's a good thing, because it's a little easier to schedule your zones if you know exactly what store you're going to be working at. Not so good just because of the distance that you have to travel a lot of times for some of these deliveries. So keep that in mind when you're accepting orders. Always look at the address so that you know how far away you're going to be traveling each time you claim an order. You can see here I've got Livonia and Northville selected for my zones. I try to keep the two that I'm most familiar with. Starting out, I would probably only choose maybe one. Choose one that you're going to be most familiar with, the one that's probably closest to your house, that you're going to be working the most out of. I would choose one just to start with. You could possibly choose more after that, but just to get familiar with the store, I would choose one to start. I'm going to X out of this, and it's going to take me back to the schedule. Now you can schedule yourself for a week in advance, and please remember that Meijer, other than the Meijers in downtown Detroit, are 24-hour. So if you're going to do 4 and 5, make sure you're doing 4 and 5 p.m. if you want p.m. rather than a.m. So keep that in mind as well. You can schedule yourself a week in advance. Members can only place an order for an hour in advance and up to 24 hours in advance. So scheduling is probably one of the most important things that we need to focus on in our metro. Members can only place orders when there is a shopper on the schedule. So, for example, if I were going to put myself on the schedule from 4 to 5, 5 to 6, and 6 to 7, you can see both of my default zones light up there with the little green check mark. Over on the far right, if I just wanted to work Northville, I'm going to click on those little 3 bars menu button. And I only want to work Northville, so I'm going to click that Livonia to take myself off of the Livonia. So I'm going to do that for the whole day because I'm just going to be in this Northville area today. So that's the only place I want to really get orders for. So I'm going to do that for all 3 hours that I'm working today. And now, as you can see, each hour I'm on for is just for the Northville Meijer. clicking that menu button again, you see the slots remaining category. That's going to let you know how many shoppers are on the schedule for that zone. So it starts at 100 and it counts down from 100. So you can see Northville, there's 97 slots remaining. That means there are 3 shoppers on the schedule for that hour for the Northville store. Underneath in Livonia, you see 98. That means there's 2 shoppers on for Livonia for that time slot for that hour. So a good way to determine, you know, where you might fall in getting offers to you. How the offering system works is orders get offered to you based on your ratings. The highest rated shopper will get the order offered to them first, exclusively for 60 seconds only. Doesn't seem like a lot of time, but it really is. If you know you're on the schedule for 4 to 5, 5 to 6, and 6 to 7, have your phone on you, have the alerts turned up. With Android, you can actually change the alert sound, so it's a specific sound. I'm not sure if they've figured out how to do that with iPhone yet, but make sure you've got your alerts on and you're paying attention to that if you're on the schedule. You've got 60 seconds to claim it. It's exclusive to you as the highest rated shopper. If you don't claim it within 60 seconds, it's going to go to the second highest rated shopper. But it's also still going to be available to the number 1 highest rated shopper. So it's going to be offered then to the second highest rated shopper for 60 seconds. If after the second 60 seconds that shopper does not claim it, if there's somebody else on the schedule, it'll go to that person for 60 seconds. And it's also available for the first 2 shoppers to still claim. So a lot of times you'll see an alert will come through and it'll say, we've got an order for you, order number 157862. Please open the app to claim the order. You get that alert, you immediately go into the app to claim the order, you try to claim it, and it says it's already been claimed by another shopper. And you're like, what the heck? It's only been like 3 seconds. That's because you weren't the first person that got offered to. It was still available to somebody else. Don't freak out when that happens. It happens to everybody. Just try to keep your ratings as high as possible so that you get it first exclusively to you for that full 60 seconds. Once it goes through everybody that's on the schedule for that time slot, and nobody's picked it up, it's going to go into the open Metro orders. Open Metro orders, we don't like orders going into open Metro, and I'll explain a little bit more on that in just a minute. I just want to finish up with the schedule here. So let's say I got a offer for a 5 to 6 shop in Northville. First thing I'm going to do, because these are delivery times, I'm going to be wanting to deliver that between 5 and 6. I aim to deliver at the first 15 minutes of their delivery window. So I want to be delivering between 5 o'clock and 5:15. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take myself off of the schedule from 4 to 5, because I'm obviously going to be needing to start shopping before 5 o'clock to get that to them at 5 o'clock. So I'm probably not going to take another order at that time slot at 4 to 5. So I'm not going to want to stay on the schedule so that a member obviously can't place an order if I'm not on the schedule, and then the order ends up going into the Metro orders. So I'm going to adjust my schedule as I claim orders. If I'm full and I can't take any more orders, I'm just going to take myself off of the schedule completely, and that way I don't have to worry about people placing orders and no one's there to claim them. So probably one of the biggest things we can do is adjust our schedule as we're full. We want to make sure that we are doing that to make sure that we're not sending these orders and nobody's claiming them. It doesn't create a great guest experience when their orders go unclaimed. So let me get out of the schedule, and I'm going to show you how the open Metro orders work. So as I said, if nobody claims the order, it'll go into the open Metro orders, and those are going to be under available orders. You see at the top there your offered orders. So if you had been offered any orders, those are going to be listed there. And then underneath that, Metro open orders. Now these are orders that members have placed because there was a shopper on the schedule and nobody claimed it. The people that are on the schedule did not claim these orders, so they end up going into the Metro open orders. When they're in the Metro open orders, anybody can claim them, whether you're on the schedule or not, whether you typically work that zone or not. They just want people to claim them, so they put them in the Metro open orders. As a new shopper, I typically suggest taking your first couple of orders out of the Metro open orders, just because you cannot control the size of the order that gets offered to you if you're on the schedule. So your first order could be a $300 or a $400 order, and it's going to be a little overwhelming for you to do an order that size as your first order. My very first order was $250, and I was completely lost. I wasn't familiar with how to work the app very well. I wasn't familiar how to process the order once I was through checkout. Just the whole process I wasn't familiar with. So that's why I suggest taking a couple of the orders out of the open Metro orders so that you can select a couple smaller orders, and it'll be a little easier for you. I suggest taking something under $100 and probably under 20 products. You can see the price there up in the top right hand corner. You can see the time. This is for today at 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then you can see the products down in the bottom right hand corner. It says 44 products, 11 categories. Now this one's still probably too big for your first order. So what I would look for is, like I said, look for one that's like under $100, under 20 products. So this one for Commerce Township here would be a nice size one to take as your first order. $68.65. It is 14 products in 8 different categories. So it's small enough that it's going to be easy for you to handle. It's also far enough in advance that you're not rushing to the store right away to do it. You can give yourself plenty of time to review the order and look over everything and get a game plan going in. And then you're going to give yourself extra time actually doing the shop this way. I would claim something out of here like that size. Before you claim it, if you click anywhere on the order other than the green claim button, what it's going to do is pull up a map. The pink dot is going to be the Meijer that you should be shopping out of. And yes, you do need to shop out of the one that it tells you to. We are a partner with Meijer, so stocking and pricing is going to be a little different between stores. So you've got to shop at the store that it tells you to, which is the Meijer on Haggerty Road in Commerce Township. And then if you see the delivery address there, it's 41776 Webster Court in Novi. So you can get an idea of how far you're going to be traveling from the store to the delivery address. And again, you can click on the delivery address, the 41776 Webster Court, and it's going to pull up a close-up view. I like to switch it to satellite mode so you can actually kind of see the actual house there. So it looks like we're in a court there. Looks like they may be condos or townhouses, and it's looks like the second to last driveway there in the court. So makes it a little easier to find with that. And then also down in the bottom left-hand corner, if Google has been down their street, there's going to be a street view that you can click on, and it's going to show you the close-up of exactly what you're looking for. Extremely helpful, especially if you're delivering after it's dark outside. You can get a nice view of what the house or the townhouse or the condo or the apartment looks like prior to getting there. So I'm going to back out of that. Now that I have an idea of where I'm going to be delivering, if I wanted to claim the order, I'm going to click the claim order button. It's going to ask me, are you sure you want to claim this order? And you'll see underneath the order number. That's how you can see the order number prior to claiming an order. You can't see anything other than the info it gives you there and the order number. You don't see the items, you just see how many products there are. I'm going to click no because I don't want to claim it. But like I said, I would claim a couple orders to start with out of the Open Metro orders. Make them small. The smaller the better. That'll get you familiar with the whole process from start to finish. This one here, 7 products would be great. The 11 products underneath that one would be great. Like I said, it's nice to be able to have that time and to have something where you're not rushing around trying to find 100 products as your first shop. So I suggest doing that. If you do claim the order, it's going to be under your orders on the menu. Click your orders and you'll see your orders are listed there. This is our test order that we're going to be shopping today, so it's under my orders. If you've got 2 orders that you're going to be shopping at the same time, so let's say you're doing a double order, which you as new shoppers can't do until you reach 10 shops, double orders or a back-to-back order, so a 7 to 8 shop, and then you've got an 8 to 9 shop as a back-to-back. 2 7 to 8 shops are going to be a double order. You can actually add them to your shopping list. Just going to swipe over from the right side over to the left. You'll see add to shopping list. I'm going to click that. If I had another order underneath, I would do the same thing. And what it's going to do is going to add them up top here to your shopping list, and it's actually going to color code them. So your first order is going to be color coded red. Your second one is going to be color coded green, and then I believe the third one goes to yellow and the fourth one goes to blue. I haven't gotten past that, so I'm not sure what other colors they're throwing in there. But it's going to be under your shopping list. The first one being colored red, I typically make that one my smaller order because that way when I use my cart, I can use one of the handheld red baskets inside the cart to use the smaller order in, and it kind of keeps everything separate for me. So you'll see all these are labeled red on here for that order. If there were 2 orders you'd see in the same category, if there were multiple products, you'd see a green one in there as well. That helps keep it together. You don't have to shop them separately. You can shop them both together and not have to worry about backtracking or doubling back at all because it's all going to be under one shopping list. Makes it a little easier. So I'm going to review the order after I claim it. I'm going to click it here. You can see the order number up top. You're going to need the order number if you need to contact HQ for anything. I do suggest if you need to contact HQ for any reason that you use the website. Go to www.shipt.com, and once the page fully loads, down in the bottom right hand corner you'll see a little chat bubble pop up. Click that, type in your order number and say I need help with this order, it is not processing, and they'll be able to walk you through what to do. That's usually the quickest way to get a hold of them, but definitely go through the website and not the chat through the app. It's a lot quicker, a lot less buggy, so use it that way. Underneath the order number there you'll see PEX card funded. That is your Shipt card, the credit card that will be coming in your package. The cards typically get funded 60 to 90 minutes before their delivery window time, or when you start shopping and you add your first item to the cart in your app. It should change over to true. It'll say false prior to that. If you've started shopping, just click that little refresh button next to the true if it says false, and hopefully it changes to true for you. Shouldn't have any issues with that. Customer name underneath that, you can see it says test flight. That's because this is a test order. Delivery date and time underneath that. That is their delivery window that they've chosen. So make sure you're on the correct day, and make sure you pay attention to the time. Like I said, I like to deliver in the first 15 minutes of their window. So I like to be there for this order between 7 and 7:15. Underneath that is the estimated shop start time. I don't pay any attention to that. I use my own formula, especially for new shoppers. I've got a formula that works really well. As you can see here, it says 6:47 is when they want me to start the shop. That's a little too late for my taste. I want to be hopefully packing up my car by 6:47 so I can get to their house by 7 o'clock and hit them right at the beginning of their delivery window. So how I work it is I take the number of products on the order, which you can see down there in parentheses next to shop order, and I multiply that by 2. So in this case it says 7. It's going to be 14 minutes to shop the order. Meijer on Monday through Saturday, typically to get through checkout and get your car loaded up, I'm going to say 20 minutes. Sundays, you probably want to add maybe 10 minutes to that and do a half hour. It can get a little crazy on Sundays. Lines can get very long. If you've got a lot of deli items, you might want to tack on an additional 10 minutes to that as well. So I'm going to add 20 minutes because today is Saturday. So we're looking at 14 minutes plus an additional 20 minutes. We're looking at 34 minutes. And then I'm going to do the distance from the Meijer I'm shopping at to their delivery address. It's going to average between 10 and 15 minutes. Like I said, Meijers are so, Meijer, there's no S. Meijer is so spread out and few and far between that you're typically going to be traveling 10 to 15 minutes. But you can always look at the map to find out how far it is exactly. Down in the bottom, you can click their delivery address. If you're already at the Meijer, it'll tell you exactly how far it is from where you're at to their house. But you can look at the overview as well and get an idea of how far it is and how long it's going to take. Keep in mind any construction or any rush hour traffic delays that you might run into. So the three things, take your product times 2, 14, 20 minutes to get through line and load up my truck. That's 34 minutes. And then I'm going to say this delivery is going to be 12 minutes away. So I'm looking at 46 minutes to shop the order, get it loaded up, and drive to their house and deliver. So if I want to hit them right at 7 p.m., I'm going to take that 46 minutes away from 7, and I'm looking at 6:14 is when I want to start shopping this order. And I want to have the cart in my hand and ready to grab my first item right at 6:14. So that's a good formula to use. Obviously, as you get quicker, you get more familiar with your Meijer that you're going to be shopping at. You can adjust that to suit your own shopping style. But to start, I would definitely go with that formula there and give yourself maybe a little extra time on your first couple shops because you're not going to be familiar with how to use the app as well. And doing the whole process, and you might have some questions that might slow you down. So always give yourself plenty of time until you get comfortable with everything and get familiar with the app. It's always a good idea, but that's a great formula to use to get started. Down there in the gray box, you'll see substitute preference. There's 3 options that the members can choose when they're placing their order for how they want to handle substitutions. First one being contact me, which this order is a contact me. Basically, if they don't have something, they want you to contact them to find out how they want to handle that. Second option is use best judgment. It's basically just what it sounds like. If they don't have something, use your best judgment. Do what you would do in the same situation if you were shopping for yourself. And remember, on use best judgment, sometimes if there's not a good substitute, especially if it's a dietary restriction item like low fat or sugar free or gluten free, using your best judgment might be just not to get a substitute if there's nothing that's similar. Third option is do not substitute. Basically, that one is little Johnny will only eat Skippy peanut butter. You won't eat Jif, so don't substitute. This has nothing to do with how we are contacting the guest. It's just how we are handling substitutions if the store is out of stock on something. And you also always want to, if the shelf is empty, check the end caps, especially if it's an item on sale. A lot of times they'll be on the end caps or they'll be down the main center aisle on a different display. And always check with an employee, especially if it's an item on sale. They'll typically have something in the back. If it is a sale item or a produce item, they're probably going to have some stuff in the back that just hasn't been stocked yet. So keep that in mind. Underneath that is the add item to order in the green. That's if, let's say you start shopping and you get a text from your member, and the wife placed the order, the husband got home and remembered he wanted a jackfruit. You could add an item to the order. You're simply just going to click that add item to order. Only do it with the customer's permission. Yep, they texted me. I'm going to find the product. If it is like a box of cereal or something like that, you can click the little scanner button over on the right, put the barcode in the scan viewer and scan it. They just actually fixed that. It just started working again shortly, not too long ago. So I found that works pretty flawlessly now to find the item if you scan it. Otherwise, you can just search all products. We'll do a search for Cheerios. She wants an 18-ounce box of Cheerios, so I'm going to type in Cheerios 18. I'm going to do a search for it. There it is, the first one that pops up. I'm going to click it. She wanted one box. I would click add product to order, and now it's going to be in the order under the correct category. So that's how you would add item to order. Only do it with their permission, obviously. Underneath that it says shop order with the parentheses of 7. That's how many products there are in the order. That doesn't necessarily mean that's how many items. That just means how many separate UPC codes there are. There could be multiple. So one of their products could be a case of water, and they've got 4 of those. So that's one product for the 4 cases of water. You can get a pretty good idea of that if you look at the order total. If it's a very large order total with a small product count, you know that they've probably got multiples of several different items on there. Underneath that it says process order. You're going to do that when you're finished shopping. And underneath that, pay attention to the order/delivery notes. This one here says, please use paper bags. Text me when you arrive. Baby is sleeping. Do not ring the bell. In other words, if you wake up the baby, mama's going to be really upset. So pay attention to those delivery notes. Underneath that is their phone number. This is a masked phone number. So when you claim the order, it's active for you to use up to about an hour after you mark the order as delivered. When you're done with the order, it'll remain active. You're going to use this number to contact the guest. Underneath that, the store you're going to be shopping out of, and underneath that is their delivery address. First thing you want to do is kind of review the items on the order. You're going to click shop order. I'm going to click expand all so I can see everything that's on the order. Special requests are going to be first. Members can do special requests for different reasons. They might not have been able to find the item in the member app, so they just enter a special request and type in what they want, hopefully very detailed, to let you know exactly what you're looking for. They can do it if it's an item that is not in the member app, which most things are now in the app at Meijer. If it's a food product or a health and beauty item, most of the stuff is now in there. They've done a really good job of keeping that updated. Since we are a partner with Meijer, we do have access to their database. Sometimes maybe they just spelled something wrong and they couldn't find it, or they just got tired of looking through to find the item, and they just typed a special request in. So those are the reasons people can do special requests. One of the good things about Meijer is we've got locations, which are the aisle numbers. So you can see the locations there for some of those there. It's a nice thing to have. A small order like this, I'm going to review it, and I'm going to have an idea of exactly my route through the store when I start shopping, because it's got the aisle numbers. I know I'm going to hit produce to get that banana. I'm going to go get the coffee because it's right behind the bakery. I'm going to get the frozen pancakes, and then the chicken breasts, which are right across on the meat by the meat counters. So that's kind of my route. And then as I'm walking back up through the front, I'm going to hit the deli and get their deli meats. A larger order, some people like to write it down. They'll make a list, write down their order or their aisle numbers and how many items they need from each aisle. They'll just do like a hashtag system and mark off, I need 3 items from aisle 4, aisle 6, I need 2 items, and they'll do it that way, especially on larger orders. That way you don't have to backtrack, because things are categorized in the shopper app based on category. So you could have a beverage category that's going to have maybe your Bold House Farms drinks, which are typically in the produce area by the bagged salads cooler. You could have bottled water, which is down a separate aisle, and you could have Coca-Cola, which is going to be in a third area. So under one category, you've got 3 different aisles. So there's no way to arrange that by aisle number. So you've got to just look through your order. That's why a lot of people use a handwritten list and just do a hashtag system. I'm going to go down aisle 4 for 3 items. I'm going to go down aisle 6 for 2 items, etc., all the way through. And that's how they do their game plan. It helps a lot, saves you a lot of time from having to backtrack when you run across something in aisle 6, and then you get to the end and you see something else on aisle 6 and you've already been down aisle 6. So it makes it a little bit easier doing it that way. First thing I want to do after I do this review of the order is I'm going to, at any time between when I claim the order and when I pull up into the parking lot to shop the order, I'm going to send the member a welcome text. Very important to do this, because the member cannot contact us until we reach out and contact them. All they get is our picture and our name. They don't get our phone number or anything until we reach out and text them. Every once in a while, you're going to get a member that has a landline. That should be noted in the order/delivery notes if they've got a landline, so you're going to want to call them. And call them the same as you would send a text. My welcome text, I can show you an example of it. I basically just copy and paste it. So if I go back, I'm going to click on their phone number, and that is going to open up your default text messaging app. And you can see there, had I not been using this number already, it would have pre-filled it with, hey, Derek, this is your Shipt shopper, Glenn. I use my own text message, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is the basic text that I use, and I'm just going to copy that. Hey Carol, this is your Shipt shopper Glenn. I'm heading to Meijer to start your shop later this morning. If you think of an item or 2 you need to add, please let me know and I can take care of it for you. I will text you before I check out to let you know of any items they are out of, and with substitution suggestions, and then again after I check out with an ETA. So this does a couple of things. It lets them know that somebody has got their order and somebody's taking care of them. It puts their mind at ease a little bit. So I'm going to just paste that in there after I copied it. Obviously I'm going to change the name to Derek, because that's the name on this order. At least that's what popped up when I clicked the number. So I'm going to change the name. Obviously if it's not morning, I'm going to change the morning to afternoon or evening, whatever it is. And then I'm going to send that. And like I said, what that does, it gives them a little comfort that somebody's taking care of them. They know somebody's got their order claimed and they're going to be starting the shop shortly. And then it also allows them to contact us if they need something. Let's say, like I said, the husband didn't get home and decided he wanted to add something to the order. That's fine. They can now reach out to us and add something onto the order, and it's not an issue. Like I showed you earlier, you're just going to go back to that main front page of the order and click on Add Item to Order, and then type in what you're looking for. Or you can find the item in the store first and then scan it with the barcode scanner. So however you want to work it. The second thing it does, it kind of lets them know to have their phone on them. They know that we are going to be shopping, and I've already notified them that I'm going to contact them if the store's out of anything. And then when I'm done shopping, I'm going to contact them again. So now they know, hey, I should keep my phone on me because Glenn is going to be shopping my order, and he's going to contact me if the store's out of anything. And then the reason why I word it like that, and I say if you'd like an item or two to be added on, let me know. Adding one or two or three things isn't really going to slow you down too much. It's when they start to add on, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items that it's going to become a little bit of a slowdown. This way I kind of set the precedence. I let them know they can add an item or two and it's not an issue. So that way if they do start to add multiple things, I can very politely and tactfully let them know, hey, I don't mind adding a few things. If you've got many more items to add, I would ask that you please place another order, just because each item's taking several minutes for me to add onto your order. We're on a very tight time constraint. I don't want to be late delivering your order, and I've got another order I need to shop right after your order, and I don't want to be late for that one. So if you don't mind, if you could please place another order. If it's not reaching the $35 minimum, contact Shipt HQ, and they might be able to waive the delivery fee for you. So just do it politely, do it nicely. But this way, when you word it like that in your welcome text, kind of sets the precedence of adding an item or two. They know, oh yeah, he did say one or two things is not an issue. So I've never had an issue with that. And then I'm also going to let them know that I'll let them know if I've got substitutions, and also when I'm through checkout and on my way to their house with an exact ETA. Word it how you like it. Word it so that it sounds like it's coming from you. I've found this works really well for me. Some people like to add a couple different things in there about substitutions. They'll ask, would you like me to contact you every time I run into an out-of-stock item, or just wait and send them all at once? Some people like to ask them ahead of time, and it works really well for them. So it's all about finding what works well for you. But you definitely want to send some type of a welcome text, a greeting text, introduce yourself, and let them know that you're taking care of them. So you sent your welcome text, and then you reviewed the order. For the order, I've got a couple questions that I'm going to send to the member after I've sent the welcome text. You can see there under special requests, they've got a 12-pack of Miller High Life. That is a alcoholic beverage, and we are not allowed in the state of Michigan to deliver alcohol. We also cannot do tobacco, any firearms or lottery, any prescription drugs, or any over-the-counter drugs that have the, I'm not even sure, it's like superhydrine or ephedrine or something like that. Anything you need to show your ID for, we cannot purchase for our members. So that is a good way to remember it. If you need to show an ID, you're not allowed to purchase it. And also no gift cards. You can't do gift cards either. So any other item is pretty much fair game, as long as you are comfortable delivering it. I delivered a portable DVD player to a lady on New Year's Eve. Just let them know that you're not going to get a Meijer receipt with it in case they need to return it. So I let her know that, and she said just pick a good one and we're good. So anything you're comfortable with delivering, the way I look at it, it's just more money in your pocket the more they're adding on. So just make sure that you're not delivering anything that's restricted as far as showing your ID or the gift cards. So I'm going to send her another text. I'm going to send Derek another text, and I'm going to say, hey Derek, I see on your special request you've got a 12-pack of Miller High Life. Unfortunately, at this time in Michigan, we are not allowed to deliver alcohol. Hopefully it's something that we can assist you with in the future, but at the time we cannot do it. So I'm going to mark that as not found down there at the bottom, the red button, just because we cannot get it. This way the app is no longer looking for us to find that product. Second item I've got a question on is the other special request. It just says box of Cheerios. There's several different sizes. There's multiple flavors. I don't know if they want just the regular Cheerios and what size they want. So I am going to let Derek know. Hey Derek, I see you have a box of Cheerios as another special request. They've got 14 ounce, 18 ounce, and 21 ounce sizes. And they've also got the multiple flavors, Honey Nut, Frosted Cheerios, the regular Cheerios. Which one would you like? And I'd be happy to add that on there to your order for you. So he gets back to me and he says, okay, no problem about the Miller High Life. And I want the 18 ounce box of just the regular Cheerios. So what I'm going to do in this situation, just so that this is just my preference, so that it's categorized correctly, I'm going to mark this as not found in the special request category. And what I'm going to do is add it to the order, because I know this is a product that is actually in the app. They might not have been able to find it, or they just were on the screen that said add a special request and figured it'd be quicker than trying to find it. So I'm going to go to add item to order like I showed you earlier. Same thing, I'm going to type in the Cheerios 18 ounce, or I'm going to get the product and I'm going to scan the barcode, and then I'm going to add it right to the order so that it actually shows up in the order in the proper category in this order screen here. It'll be under cereals or breakfast items, and it'll have the correct aisle number and all of that. So that's the way I do it. It's up to you, whatever works best for you. Some people do it differently, and they're just going to add it right to the special request. If you do add it in as the special request, it's going to ask you for the product cost. Just get the product cost off the shelf tag by the product. Make sure it says Cheerios 18 ounce, and then you're going to type in the amount, whatever it says there, and hit save cost. I'm not going to do that way, but if you wanted to do it that way, you're just going to need to enter in the cost. Also pay attention to product notes. For any item that the member places an order for, they can enter product notes. You're going to see this a lot with produce, especially grapes right now. I think there's a conspiracy in Detroit. Everybody who orders grapes needs to put a product note that they want firm grapes. But you're going to see that a lot with produce and some deli items, about how they want it sliced, thick or thin, or put a piece of paper between every slice of cheese, things like that. So pay attention to that. You're going to see it. You can't miss it. It's in like a big yellowish bar that's going to run across the bottom of the image there. So you see the bananas there. It'll be a big bar that you really can't miss running across the bottom of the image. And it'll say product notes, please only slightly green bananas only, or whatever they type in there. So we're going to shop for the bananas now. If you see the product size there, it says 1 count. That is how Meijer sells them. So if they wanted, they could get 1 banana. If you look at their requested quantity, that is the quantity that the guest wants. So they want 6 bananas, not 6 bunches, because this is a 1 count sell by item. So we are going to go over to the bananas, and we are going to look for the best looking bananas we can find. Since they didn't specify how ripe they want them, I'm going to get them how I would like them, where I could probably have one tonight if I wanted, but They're not going to go bad in the next couple days. They're probably going to be best tomorrow or the day after. But they're not so green that they're going to have to sit there and stare and wait for them to ripen. So I'm going to look for some nice large looking bananas with the least brown spots on them that I can find. I'm also going to try to find a bunch that's already got 6 bananas in it. It helps out Meijer. It looks better for the member. You get a bunch of 6. That's what they wanted. It helps out Meijer so they don't have single bananas laying around that nobody really ever buys. So try to find some nice ones that are already in a bunch of the count that they want. No brown spots, not mushy. You don't want any looking bad. Pay really particular attention to people's produce and their meats. People are very particular about that stuff. I know that's probably the #1 question I get from people who are considering using the service is, well, how do you do produce? So many people are picky about their produce, and I just let them know I'm more meticulous with my members' produce than I am my own. I'm not gonna buy my member a box of Little Debbie mini muffins if the corner of the box is dented, but I'd have no problem buying a dented box of muffins for myself. So just pay particular attention to produce and to the meats. Make sure everything looks great. Obviously get items that are looking nice, the furthest out dates possible, so that they're not going to expire on the guests within the next couple of days. Pay attention to that. For anything like produce or your deli or your meats or any fresh bakery item, you are not going to be able to use the scanner to scan the product info in there. So you've got to add it manually to the cart. So you're just going to click the green Add to Cart button. And we found 6 because we're going to click the plus button until we get to 6, and we're going to add it to the cart. And you'll see we get a little green check mark there. That just means that, hey, we got the item, we got the correct item, and we're good to move on to the next item. Pay particular attention to the UPC code. If you look, the bananas are 4011 UPC code. Make sure you're getting bananas and not plantains or some other crazy fruit. That's particularly important when you're doing things like avocados. There's a couple different avocados that look very similar, so make sure you're doing the right one. So we are going to move on to the next item. We are going to be looking for the Dunkin' Donuts ground coffee original blend 12 ounce, and those are, since I reviewed the order, I know exactly where those are. I'm familiar with the store. For the first several weeks, I used the product scanner religiously for every item I scanned. It's just a good way to verify that you're getting the correct item. If you try to scan the wrong item, it's going to give you an error, which is nice because so many things look very similar. Especially this coffee that we're getting right now, the Dunkin' Donuts original blend ground coffee. Looks almost identical to the Dunkin' Donuts original blend whole bean coffee. There's the only difference is a tiny little pink bar running across the bottom of the package that says whole bean instead of the ground. So let me show you what happens when you use the scanner on the wrong item. I'm going to click the scanner button. I'm going to focus the camera scanner on the barcode. It's going to focus and take the little scan, and it's going to tell me UPC doesn't match. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to put the wrong item back where I found it and search for the right item. And I find it. Dunkin' Donuts original blend ground coffee 12 ounce. I'm going to click the scanner and do this one more time. It's going to focus on the barcode, and it's going to give me my green check saying I got the right item. Good job. So like I said, I use that very religiously for the first several weeks, and then you start seeing a lot of the same items. but you want to make sure that you are getting the correct item. Part of our mantra is be accurate, be awesome, and be on time. You definitely want to be accurate, so make sure you're getting the right item. If you're going to manually add that to your cart, you can do that. You just click the add to cart button and you can manually add it to the cart, but please be 1000% sure that you are grabbing the right item. So if you're going to do that, at least visually verify the UPC code. You can see down there under the requested quantity, it has the UPC code. Take a look at like the last 5 numbers and match it up to the UPC code on the product that you're getting. That's a good way to do it if you don't want to use the scanner. I suggest using the scanner though, at least till you're very comfortable, very familiar with how the whole process works. So that is that item. We're going to move on to the second to last item, and I'm going to show you how to do a substitute on this item. So even if they've got it, I'm going to pretend like they don't have it, and I'll show how we do substitutes. I apologize, they're doing some stocking down this aisle, so if it gets loud, I apologize. So, like I said, we're going to do a substitute. I'm here, they don't have any more of what I'm looking for, so I am going to find something that has a good substitute. The shelf tag where the Aunt Jemima pancakes are, I got it, I'm just doing it. The shelf tag where the Aunt Jemima pancakes are says it's $2.59. They are Aunt Jemima buttermilk pancakes, 12 count. Next to it are the Meijer buttermilk pancakes, 12 count. Same exact price, so that would be an ideal substitute to do for that if they were out of the Aunt Jemima pancakes. So what I'm going to do is scroll down here, and I'm going to text the customer about the product. And it's going to auto-fill in there. The store does not have the requested product. Aunt Jemima buttermilk pancakes, 12 count, available. I'm going to add to that. They do have the Meijer brand buttermilk pancakes, 12 count, available. Would those be okay? And I'm also going to take a picture of that item because they get pictures in the app when they're selecting their product, so it's nice for them to have. I will show you an example of some of my texts here. If I'm on a large order, I typically wait till I get like 3 items or so that are out of stock, and then I'll send one text with all 3 items. You can see the pictures there. There's the Newman's Own. They don't have any of the Bertolli. Tomato basil is Newman's Own, okay. Took a picture of the Newman's Own. They're out of Meijer brown rice. This is Uncle Ben's brown rice, okay. Took a picture of that. And lastly, they have no more Meijer center cut hardwood smoked bacon. Is the Meijer regular cut hardwood smoked bacon okay? Took a picture of that. And you can see I left a space in between each item there when I was typing it out. Tend to find that if you put it all together in one paragraph, it gets kind of jumbled together, and a lot of times they'll only answer you on one of the items that their eyes are drawn to. So the pictures tend to help, and leaving a space there helps as well. So like on a large order, I'm going to do that. I'm going to wait till I get a few items. The members are busy, that's why they're using the service. I don't want to bug them every few minutes with another text saying, hey, they're out of this. Hey, they're out of this. So I'll wait till I get a few items, and I'm going to send off all few at the same time. Or if I'm about 15 minutes before I'm done with the shop, I'm going to send it then, so I have enough time to make any changes if there's any changes needed. You can see I only give them one choice for a substitute item. I'm going to find the thing that matches best with them for a substitute, and I'm going to go with that. I'm going to suggest that as a substitute. You don't want to get into offering them multiple choices for a couple different reasons. One being you get into something like your canned vegetables, and there's literally like 15 different brands of canned vegetables for the same thing. So you could be typing forever to find a good substitute. what I do is I just match up the price, the closest price, and obviously the same flavor. In this case, it was the Aunt Jemima frozen buttermilk pancakes, 12 count. They do have the same count in the Meijer brand, and also buttermilk pancakes, same price. So I'm going to offer that as a suggestion. If it's a small order like this, I've got one more item left to do after we do these pancakes. I would probably just send that text right away in this case, just because I only got one item. So I'm going to send it because I'm almost done shopping their order. And then I'm actually going to put that Meijer buttermilk pancake right in my cart, and I'm going to keep shopping. I'm not going to stop and sit there and wait for them to respond, because 99 times out of 100, they're going to go with what you suggest anyway. At least that's what I've found. So I'm going to click substitute item. Only do it with their approval. I am going to search for a substitute product. I'm going to click the little barcode scanner. And I'm going to scan the barcode on the Meijer buttermilk pancakes. And there it is, it pops up. I'm going to click that, and it automatically substitutes it for you. You see it changed the picture, and it also writes down there in red, substituted item for Aunt Jemima buttermilk pancakes, 12 count. And that is what they're going to see on their receipt. So it's nice to do it that way as a substitute. And you can see I got my green check automatically. So that's how you do substitutes. And like I said, again, I put that Aunt Jemima buttermilk pancakes right in my cart, and I'm moving on to the next item. I'm not going to wait around for a response, because 99 times out of 100 they're going to go with what you suggest. So second to last thing we're going to get is the Meijer chicken breast, boneless, skinless, and it says right there it's the 2 to 4 pack count. So we are going to go over to the chicken and find the chicken breasts that are boneless and skinless. And if they don't have any out, this is when you're going to want to ask your butcher to see if they've got any packs in the back. You can see there, product size 1 count, so it's 1 package of the 2 to 4 count boneless skinless breasts, and the requested quantity was 2. Like I said before, you can't scan the packaged meat or the fresh meat or the fresh bakery or produce, so you've got to match up the UPC code. If you look at the UPC code on the this product here, it says 240829 and then a bunch of zeros. Actually, where those zeros are is going to be the price of the package. So it's going to be different prices on different packages based on the weight. That 240829 is the UPC start for the Meijer chicken breast boneless skinless 2 to 4 packs. So you're going to want to match up those first 5 or those first 6 numbers on the pack, and that's how you're going to be able to tell if it's a the right size package. Chicken, typically the pictures match, or like I said, they've got the description in there that says 2 to 4 count package. It's a little more difficult when you get to things like the ground beef, because it's literally just a picture of a bunch of ground beef. They've got 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, and 5 pound family packs. So it's a little more difficult to tell which one you're looking for. That's why it's very important to look at those first 6 numbers on the UPC and match those up to the UPC code on the package that you're looking for. Those first 6 numbers should match up with the size package that the guest wants. So use that for any of the packaged meats, and you should be able to get the right thing. So I'm going to add this. I've got 2 packages of this. I'm going to add it to the cart, and again, with multiple packages, you've got to tell them how many you found, add it to cart, and we got it. So you can see up there I've got everything except for the deli turkey. pay attention to your hours of your deli. Obviously right now with the time, the deli is not going to be open. But you know, if this were the right time of day for this shop, which is 7 to 8 p.m., the deli is going to be open. But make sure you pay attention to that. Sometimes you'll get a very early morning or a late delivery, and the deli might be closed and they've got deli items. That would be something that you would want to reach out to the guest after you send your welcome text and let them know that the deli's closed. You can get some packaged meat or see if they have prepackaged sliced stuff in the deli and go from there, see what they want to do about it. So we are going to go to the deli and we are going to get, they want about a pound. We're going to get the oven roasted turkey from the deli counter. So we're going to ask our lovely deli people for 1 pound of the Meijer oven roasted turkey. To get your little green check mark, you've got to get exactly a pound or slightly over a pound. You can do like 1.01 or 1.02. I wouldn't go much higher than that. Also, if you go underneath a pound, like 0.98 or 0.99, you're not going to get your little green check mark, and it might give you a little error when you go to process the order that you didn't find everything. You can bypass that as long as you're you know, within a couple decimal points of that. If you have like 0.98 or 0.99, that's fine. Just bypass that little error you get. Me having OCD, I like to make sure I get the little green check mark. So I'm going to get a pound or slightly over from my lovely deli people. And with anything that is weight that comes from the deli, like your sliced meats, sliced cheeses, or anything from the butcher, the counter itself, you're going to need to enter a weight in. And even on like your big like butterball turkeys, you're going to need to enter a weight. So I'm going to click add to cart because again you can't scan it on these items. And I got 1.01 from my deli people, and I'm going to click save, and you can see I got the little green check mark, so we are good to go. I'm going to X out of the items, and I'm going to just collapse all, and I'm going to double check I got a green check mark on everything and I got the right amounts. You can see 2 of 2, 1 of 1, 1 of 1, 1 of 1, 1 of 1, and 1 of 1. It looks like I've got everything. So I'm going to go back one more time, and if you click on process order, it's going to remind you to do tax exempt, which we'll go over here in a little bit, and it's going to say you got everything. So that is a good way to check that you got everything on your order. And now we're going to head to checkout. When you get to checkout, you're going to want to load everything up on the belt like you would want it bagged. So you're going to put everything that you want together on the belt together. So all of your cold and frozen stuff together. You're going to want to put your canned goods or any of your box cereals or anything like that on the belt together, and get it all bagged up together. Makes it a lot easier for the member to put the groceries away once you deliver it to them. Most of the cashiers are pretty good about doing that. Some of them like to pick and grab items. So just keep an eye on them as they're bagging it. Sometimes you might need to rebag it. Some people like to bag it themselves. Just ask the cashier to put the items up on the turnstile and you'll bag them for them. Most of the cashiers don't have an issue with us doing that. You get up to the cashier, they're going to say, do you have any coupons, M-Perks, or bottle returns? That's their little spiel. They're going to say the same thing every time. We are not allowed to use M-Perks. So, and you don't want to use any coupons or bottle returns because that's going to lower your total and put less money in your pocket. But we're not allowed to use M-Perks, the guest M-Perks or your own personal M-Perks. We cannot use that. So you're going to say no. But say it is an order for Shipt, so it's tax exempt. Now the cashiers are supposed to provide us with the tax exempt form that is pre-filled out other than our signature and our shopper ID. They should have them. However, I've included some on the Detroit Facebook page under the file section, and also in the email I will send you before your orientation. There will be a copy, I like to bring them with me when I come into the store, because a lot of times the cashiers don't know where they're at. Sometimes they are underneath the drawer, sometimes they're next to the drawer, sometimes they're on top of the drawer, sometimes they're all out. Then they've got to leave the line and go to the customer service desk, wait in line at the customer service desk, and see if they've got more, or they'll just head over to their friends at the cashiers next to them and talk about what their plans are for tonight. Since it's Saturday, what are you doing tonight? I've found that just bringing my own in, having it ready to go, signed with my shopper ID number underneath my signature, saves a lot of time. So they're going to give you a little spiel, and I say no, but it is tax exempt for Shipt, and I've got the form here filled out for you. Most of them are usually very happy that you've got it ready to go for them. They don't have to search around for it. So if you choose to do that, that's not an issue. Like I said, though, it is their responsibility to have them for us. I've just found that it just saves a lot of time just bringing my own in. I just print one copy off of the form that I made, sign each one, and put my shopper ID on each one, and then I make like 20 copies of that with my signature on it, and then just cut them out. And then if I do like 20 copies, I've got like 80 sheets to go for the next 80 orders. If there is no tax on the order, you may or may not still need the form. Not every Meijer is consistent with this. Some of the Meijer stores like to have a form even if there's no tax, because that's how they track how many Shipt shoppers there are coming through their doors each day. Some of them will just say, no, you don't need it. If they tell you you don't need it, don't worry about it, you don't need it. They keep the form, so you're going to give them the form. They are going to ring all your items up, get everything bagged up. Make sure that before you swipe your Shipt card, it does say 0 tax on the tax line. Swipe your card, use it as credit, and then they actually keep the tax exempt form. They run it through their check reader, and they will put it underneath their drawer and save it for whatever they do with it. They're going to give you your Meijer receipt, and you should be good to go. After you get the receipt, we're going to need to process the order before you leave the store. So what I typically do is I will get through the line, and I will go to one of the lanes that's closed, or an area that's got a little bit of room at it, and I'll take care of processing the order before I leave the store this way. So it makes it a lot easier. And I'll show you how to do the whole
Please scan your first item if you have check refunds.
processing here.
Insert cash or select payment type. Please insert, tap, or swipe your card on the pin pad.
Might be a good idea to grab some extra Meijer plastic bags as well. Keep them in your car or your truck to have them with you in case bags rip, or in case you need to rebag things. Sometimes you might need to rebag some items when you get to your truck, so that you've got them how you want them for your member. Remember, this is a service for the member, so make it convenient as you can for them. You obviously don't want to put in their Clorox cleaner with their pineapple. Make sure things are bagged together and correctly, like items with like items. So after you get your receipt, we're going to go find a little spot off to the side so you're out of the way, because we've got to take a picture of it and scan the barcode. So on this screen where you've processed the order, you're going to click next, click the take receipt picture, and you're going to want to get all of the items on the order plus the total. Make sure it's legible. Click to take the picture. It's going to verify that that's the picture you want to use. I'm going to click OK. It's going to ask me one more time in case I wasn't sure. Yep. Something happened there. Let's try it one more time. OK. So it says repeat receipt picture saved. I'm going to click next. It's going to ask me to scan, so I'm going to click the little barcode scanner and I'm going to scan the barcode there, same as I do for the products. If it does not put that A at the beginning, you see the A at the beginning of your receipt, you're going to need to manually enter that A in there and then click next, and then you're going to click the total. So type in the total amount, and then you're going to click process order. I'm not actually going to do that because then I lose my test order here, but you're going to click process order. Everything should process successfully. If there's an issue, that's when you're going to want to, before you leave the store, contact HQ by opening up a live chat through www.shipt.com. Get a hold of them, let them know, hey, order number 1575027. I tried to process the order and it's not processing, and they'll be able to guide you through what steps to take to make sure that we get it taken care of. One thing to check is to make sure you've got weights entered correctly for anything that you may have entered a weight in. Like I had that 1.02 pounds of turkey. If I was unable to process it, I would go back and I would check that I didn't add by accident 102 pounds, that it actually was 1.02. If I entered 102 pounds of turkey, it's going to try to charge them for 102 pounds of turkey, and that's going to cause issues when you process. So first thing to check is if you entered everything correctly as far as the weights, or if there's special request items, you entered the price correctly. Like we did that Cheerios, it was $2.29. You're going to want to make sure it was $2.29, not $229, because again, it would try to charge them for that $229 box of Cheerios, and that's going to put up a red flag and cause an issue when you process. So just open up a live chat if there's an issue. Doesn't happen very often, but those are the first things to check, is your prices and your weights that you've entered. Fix it if there is an issue, and you should be good to go. Just go back and try to process it again if you did notice an error, and you should be good to go. Before I leave the store, I throw the receipt away. We do not give the Meijer receipts to the guests because we are Shipt is buying from Meijer, and the members are buying from Shipt, so they don't get the Meijer receipts. I just toss it away so that I don't even have it. If they keep trying to bug me for it, I just say I don't even have it, I can't give it to you. But let them know that they will get a Meijer receipt, or a Shipt receipt via email as soon as you mark the order as delivered. You're going to get out to your car, you're going to load everything up in your thermal bags and your coolers if you've got them. Make sure everything is nice and neatly loaded up. Don't just toss the Meijer bags in your back seat. Put everything in a Meijer bag, whether it be the plastic or paper if they've requested paper. Put everything in the Meijer bags, and then put the Meijer bags into your thermal bags or into your coolers. You don't ever want to put items directly into your reusable thermal bags or totes or coolers for sanitary reasons. And also when you're delivering, you're going to want to be able to hand off the Meijer bags to the member and keep your thermal totes. Probably the things I use the most are my Coleman rolling cooler. It's a hard-sided rolling cooler. It's got a couple big wheels on it and a handle that pulls up. It's large. I think it's 75 or 80 quarts, so it holds a lot of stuff. I use that, and I've got a couple collapsible crates that I got from Walmart that unfold very large. I can get like 3 of the Shipt bags stacked up in there. So I'll use that cooler. I'll use the expandable crates, and I'll put the Shipt thermal bags in those crates and stack those on top of the cooler. And then I'll wheel that right up to the guest door, and it makes everything look that you've taken a lot of care in packing their groceries because you have. So get everything loaded up nice and neatly in your car. Before I start driving to their house, I'm going to click on their delivery address down there on the very bottom, and it's going to tell me exactly when I should be arriving in their driveway. So I'm going to send one more text to the member. I'm going to say, well, I'll show you an example here. Carol, I'm through checkout and your groceries are packed with care. I'm on my way with ETA of 7:12. I'll see you shortly. So I'm just going to send that as long as that time is correct. Obviously change the name if that's not the name on the order. But that's an example of what I send. So they know exactly when to expect me. They know I'm going to be there at 7:12, so not to start another episode of their DVR Grey's Anatomy, that they should be kind of watching out for me. If it's dark outside, you might also want to leave a note in there, make sure their porch lights or garage lights are on so that you can easier find their house. If it's an apartment, ask for any distinguishing features that you need to know, building number, where exactly is it once I enter the complex. So those are things you can send on your ETA text as well to help you get there. So once you send that text, carefully navigate to their house. Be careful. Keep in mind any slowdowns. Google is usually pretty good about letting you know alternate routes or slowdowns if there's a lot of traffic or construction or rush hour. They're usually pretty accurate about the time it takes to get there with all those slowdowns. So I use the Google Maps for that. I pull up in their house. Be respectful of their neighborhood. Obviously, don't blast your Eminem or your Luke Bryan through their neighborhood and up their driveway. Don't run over their mailbox or their trash cans. Pull up into their driveway, and then you're going to want to introduce yourself. Hi, Carol or Derek. This is Glenn, your Shipt shopper. They're going to say, "Oh, very nice to meet you. Thanks for doing this." I always ask where they'd like me to bring the groceries. I said I could bring these in for you, or where would you like these? I'd say it's like 50-50. Half of the people just say, I'll take them from you right here at the door. Some people with like younger kids, if they're home, kids usually run out and want to help you unload. Just make sure you're not giving them the eggs or they're dropping the milk. So just be polite, be respectful, be nice, be friendly. Always have a smile on your face. We're always on stage. You want to make sure that we're giving a great impression and being friendly. It's a great service we provide for the members. Obviously, don't do anything that you're not comfortable with. So if you're not comfortable going into somebody's house to drop off the groceries on their kitchen counter, be polite about it. Let them know, hey, would you mind taking these from me here at the door? I've got a couple other deliveries I've got to get to and I don't want to be late for. Nobody's had an issue in this area. Most people are very understanding if you tell them you're on a time constraint. So just don't do anything that you're not comfortable with. If you've got an issue where you pull up into a driveway and you don't feel comfortable, contact HQ again through the live chat. Let them know the situation. They'll be able to guide you through what to do, whatever that may be, and maybe that they can see if there's somebody else in the area that could come bring it in that would feel more comfortable. I'm not sure what exactly they would do, but they're really good. They'll help you get it figured out. But don't do anything you're not comfortable with. I've put away groceries for people, so do what you're comfortable with. A lady had hip surgery and she was bedridden, couldn't get out of her recliner in the living room, and she said, "Oh, just leave everything on the counter. My son will be here in an hour. He can put everything away." So I just put everything away for her because she had cold stuff and dairy, yogurts and all that, and I didn't want it to go bad. So I just put everything away for her. It wasn't that big of an order. I had plenty of time, which is another reason why I shoot to deliver right at the first part of the hour. If it's a 7 o'clock delivery, I like to be there right at 7 to 7:15. That way, if I do have to do something like that for a member, I'm not feeling rushed, and I know we're providing a great service doing those things. But obviously, only do it if you're comfortable. Do it if you have time. Thank them very much for using the service. Tell them you hope to be able to deliver to them again. And then when you get back to your truck or your car, make sure you mark the order as delivered. Here where the order says process order, it's now going to say mark order as delivered. You're going to click that. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to mark order as delivered? Say yes. That'll stop the clock. You don't want to deliver late. Again, our mantra is be accurate, be awesome, and be on time. And being on time is one of the things you get rated on, which is how you get offered shops. So there's 3 things you get rated on. The number 1 weighted thing is your member rating. They can give you 5 stars, and you're going to want to make sure you keep that up as high as you can. That's weighted the most, so that will take most precedence. There's your on-time rating, which is obviously if you are delivering late, delivering late, that's going to be an issue. It's going to lower your on-time rating. So make sure you're staying on time. And then your acceptance rating, which is if you get offered orders and you don't accept them, your acceptance rating is going to go down. So make sure you keep those high. You'll get offered orders first. Keep them high. As a new shopper, I believe it's for your first 5 or so orders, you have perfect ratings still. So you get offered orders first. So it's to your advantage to keep those very high within your first 5 orders anyway. So you want to really knock it out of the park for your first 5 orders, so that when they do start to take into account your ratings, you're still getting those orders first. Keep your stats really high. The more orders you do, the less a low rating is going to hurt you. So if you've got 4 orders and one guest gives you a 4, just because some guests don't give 5s, one guest gives you a 4 and the other 3 guests gave you a 5, well, that's going to hurt your ratings a lot more as if you have 100 orders and you got 1 4 out of the 100 orders. So do more shops and it'll average out. And make sure you don't forget to mark it as delivered. I probably wait about a half hour or so after I've delivered, depending on the size of the order, and then I send one final text to the members. I typically thank them for being a Shipt shopper. See if I can find thank you again for using Shipt. It was my pleasure assisting you and your family. Hope everything was to your satisfaction. If not, please let me know, because I strive for 5-star service. If you could please return to the app within 24 hours to anonymously let us know how we're doing, I would appreciate it. Sometimes I'll send a little picture as well. Thank you for using Shipt. For your friends and family with my code, and they receive a free groceries, code Glenn Shipt. Sometimes I'll include a little picture, sometimes not. I'll just do the text. But you want to do that. Send it about, like I said, half hour or so after you mark it as delivered. The mask number should be active still up to an hour after you mark it as delivered. But I usually wait until they've had enough time to put away their groceries, and then I'll send them that. And it's a good reminder for them to return to the app to rate you. As soon as they return to the app, they're going to be prompted to give you a tip. And they're also, as soon as they enter a tip for you, they're going to be prompted to leave you a 5-star rating and enter any feedback. Good communicator, went above and beyond, very friendly, missing items, damaged items, and things like that. So they can leave you your star rating and then also leave you some feedback. You will not get specific feedback per shopper because it is anonymous. Like I said, at the beginning of the month, they'll send you your previous month's ratings broken down into like a percentage. So like X percentage of guests said you went above and beyond, X percent of guests said you were missing items. Don't let it really bother you too much. Some people get confused with the ratings as far as like marking you for missing items if the store was out of stock. Nothing we can really do about that. So don't really let it get to you. It's more of a tool to help you see where maybe you need to focus some of your attention on. But always send that follow-up text as well, so you get a tip. The tips will show up in your delivery history as pending up to about 24 hours after they do it. Usually takes about 24 hours to clear their bank. They've got that whole 24 hours to change the tip or delete the tip. They have up until they place their next order to rate you. So you might not get rated right away. But before they can place another order, they have to rate you. So sometimes you'll see your ratings change, and you're like, well, I haven't even shopped in 4 days. My rating went down. It's because a member just tried to place another order, and they may have rated you low or something like that. So they've got to tip you within 24 hours through the app. Some people will give you a cash tip. That's fine. Some people will do it through the app. And then they've got up to the time they place their next order to rate you. That's about all I've got. If you've got any questions about anything, please join the Facebook groups. It is the Shipt Shoppers of Detroit Facebook group. It's very beneficial and helpful to learn things about our Detroit metro. We are very different than any other metro they've got. We're very different than the shops down in Florida where there's one on every corner. We're a little bit different, but you'll see a lot of great information that is specific to Detroit in the Shipt Shoppers of Detroit Facebook Lounge. It's only for shoppers, so you'll need to request to join. Take a picture of yourself in your Shipt shirt, or do your account screen on your shopper app. Take a screenshot of that and send it to one of the admins, or send it to me, and we'll get you added onto the group. And there's also a National Shipt Shoppers Lounge, which is great because they've been doing these shops in their respective states and metros for well over a year now. We are just relatively new in Detroit, just since the middle of September when we launched in Detroit. So make sure you're adding both of those groups on Facebook. Really, I can't stress the importance enough of getting in those groups. So much great information in both of them. It'll just help you out be the best shopper that you can be. And I'm always available to text me. Text me at 248-819-8302 if you've got any questions about anything, with help with setting up the app, help on a shop 4 months down the road. You've got a question, please let me know. I'm here to help you guys, and that's all I've got for you. I hope you learned a lot.